Hi everyone, this is a tutorial or a how-to on beginning crocheting. And the first thing I could give you as a tip when you first start crocheting is not to mess with little bitty yarn, fuzzy yarn, the yarn that just pretty much like you can't tell. I mean, it's pretty, but you can't tell where you're going, where you're putting the next stitch in, where the other stitch is. So you can end up with some pretty wonky projects that way. So don't try to mess with that at first, because you're not gonna have a good time. So the other thing is to have a big hook first, and this one is pretty big, and it is an M. So this one is my beginner's hook. I think this would be a really good hook to start off with. So first thing is you need your yarn, and for this tutorial I'm just or for this how-to I'm just using Lion Brand Hometown USA yarn, and it's chunky. I really like the patterns on here, but anyway, yeah, when you're starting off you want to look for, okay, not chunky but super bulky, and super bulky is 6, and I think 5 is chunky. So, and it'll give you the recommendations of if you're going to be using it for knitting, and if you're going to use if you're going to do crochet with it. So we're using, it actually says that you should use a N for it, but we're going to use an M for right now. And I really like this part, that would help beginners. This particular brand has a when you take this off, it's got a ruler on it, which I think is pretty cool and helpful. So anyway, let's get started. And this is for beginners. Beginner. So if anyone knows how to do this already, or you know, it might seem a little like, oh well, okay, of course you do that, but I'm helping the very beginners. And this video has been requested a lot on my other channel, so finally getting around to it. So first things first, you want to just take the end of the yarn, and as you can see it's really, you know, bulky, which will really help you guys that are just starting out. And then you just want to take it a little bit away from, like a couple inches away. Now let me see if I can zoom out for a little bit. Okay, you want to take it a few inches from the end, and you want to go over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to wrap it around your index finger. You're going to have your yarn laying in the palm of your hand, and you're just going to bring this end over here, over, so it crosses. You can do it again, and over. Sorry about my phone, you guys. And then you're just going to kind of pinch it and just slip it off of your finger. Not too hard. And as you can see, you have like this loop. You're just gonna widen it a little bit. You're gonna take this part, remember this is the end, and you're gonna take this part and you're just gonna twist it if you need to, but just pinch it right here with your middle and with your middle finger and your thumb. And you're just gonna bring this, which is the end, into the middle of the circle. And as you can see, it's just circle, and then there's the yarn inside. Now what I do is I just push it through just a little bit, and we haven't dropped anything. And then you just take your needle, or your hook. I have always grown up with it being called a crochet needle, and now that I'm an adult, it's like, oh, it's a knitting needle and it's a crochet hook. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get used to it. So anyway, you're gonna just, to help you out, you're just gonna nestle it underneath, you're just gonna nestle the hook underneath the piece of yarn in the middle. And why is my camera doing that? Stop it. Anyway, and then you're just gonna bring it up. If you guys can see that. It just started acting up all of a sudden. Okay, now we're just gonna bring it up, and we're just going to, and see, you have a loop on your hook. And here's the yarn that's being pulled from the skein, and then here is your tail that you were holding. Okay, so that is how you start. And you're just gonna pull on this just a little bit, get it a little bit snug, not too tight, and you really don't want it too tight. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing with your, and you can hold this part if you want to. We're gonna do the same thing with the bringing it around and laying it on your palm. And then for stability, you take your middle and your middle finger and your thumb, and here is the part where we're going to begin how to make a chain. And we're just gonna take the hook and go in between and pull through, just like that. So now you've made one chain. Okay, we're gonna do it again. And so now you've got your leave out tail, you've got your slip knot, which is what we made when we did the loop. It's called a slip knot, and you have your first chain, and you've got your one loop on the hook. And now we're just gonna go through again. You turn your needle so you can, or your hook, so that it can grasp the yarn, and you're just gonna go under and over and through, and that's called a yarn over. And now we have two chains. Two chains. Anyway, age test. But anyway, so 1, 2, we're gonna do it again. So yarn over, pull through. And that's how you do the chain stitch.